Speaking of signs, you've seen, and since we are talking about Cody Rhodes, everybody has been asking me what I thought about or what I think about Sinclair Broadcasting being outed as, right-wing nuts. And because you've seen that Sinclair sign, I used to drive up to and park in that parking lot right in front of that Sinclair sign that you've now seen on every news network in the fucking country. And I do not want Ring of Honor to go out of business or do not wish them to do poorly because I like some of the people that are affiliated with that company. So I'm not wishing ill on them. But you have to, some things are more important in wrestling. You have to hope that everybody gets called attention to the fact that Sinclair is a bunch of right-wing nuts and they did the John Kerry shit. Gutless Gary Juster pointed out to me or called my attention to, because I had not heard of them before this deal had started with Ring of Honor. And while the sale was in process, he was like, oh, boy, they're real right-wing nuts, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know. And he pointed me to the Kerry Swift boat controversy. And I said, well, at the time I thought we don't have to talk politics. Furthers Wrestling gets Ring of Honor on the air because the good guys were in charge. Obama was president. I figured after the fucking last one we had, we'd never have another Republican president because it worked out so fucking well. But I guess they thought that after Nixon. It works out really well every time we have a Republican president. But now that was when they owned, what was it, 50 or 60 low power and full power television stations in small and mid markets. Now they're trying to buy Tribune, and they've expanded and they've got a lot more. They're trying to be a network. They'll outfox Fox. They'll be so fucking nutty that Fox people will be complaining about them, and that could even be possible. So I hate to wish ill on anything that would bring ill on Ring of Honor, but I hope everybody gets smartened up to the Sinclair thing, because this could be the ultimate Trump state television from where they're coming. They may be farther right than the fucking right nuts that fucking Trump has brought in already.
Fuck those guys.
So be aware. Fuck those guys. Don't let them buy Tribune, for fuck's sake. And I know all the Ring of Honor guys, I know we want to be on TV in Los Angeles. But fuck, some things are more important than wrestling. I mean, you ought to be able to, even if it's your local news. But I understand that a lot of people are not truthfully as fortunate with their time as I am, because I'm always busy doing something. I got some project going on, but I also don't leave the house for days at a time. And still work and make money and do these things. I'm on gym time, and I'm able to have the news on in the background, or I'm able to read more than a lot of people that have kids and lives and things. So, but you ought to be able to recognize bullshit when you hear it and see it, even if it's your local news station or whatever, without having to be told. But sometimes people can't do as deep a dive. So, the television news should be relatively, what's the word I'm searching for? Well, freedom of the press. Imagine that, instead of having the Fox Newses or this bullshit, because the right is going to eventually die off and age out. We know that, because you can't continue with the same superstitions and bullshit. Every generation, as we've said, ages out of bad things and smartens up to science or whatever the fuck. But this is an indoctrination for those gullible people who can't detect bullshit. If I watch Fox News, I don't mean to get off on a rant here, but if I watch Fox News for 10 minutes, any program, Laura Ingraham, I actually watched 10 minutes of her unrelated to any of this controversy about 2 or 3 weeks ago, because my mouth opened and I was dumbfounded that anybody could listen to this fucking obnoxious right-wing fucking cunt spouting all this bullshit and doing it in a pissed off way about people that are much better and more successful than she will ever be. I don't like those people on Fox News or right-wing television. I don't like their attitude. I don't like the way they speak. I don't like what they say. I wouldn't want to hang out with them if we were in a social situation. And I can tell that what they're saying is bullshit. So I don't understand how that appeals to some people. But as we know, in Germany, some people like to have their balls nailed to a step stool.
I've heard about those videos. Yeah, fuck those guys when it comes to Sinclair. And I've made a lot of money because of Sinclair with that stock, which had a very nice dividend and it ran up pretty nicely for a while there, but I want nothing to do with them. I don't know how anyone would. It's
well, and the reason why the stock ran up, and you carpetbagger, the reason why the stock ran up is because all the right-wing fucknuts buy their political ads on Sinclair stations at election time.
Oh, bingo. So I bought the stock. Yeah, I planned it out right before, an election, and everything went sky high. But no, it's what they're doing. Even if you're someone who likes conservative media, there's a difference in what they're doing. It's propaganda. It's scary. When you have newscasters all over the country being forced to read a monologue, that's scary. That's really scary.